Americans need to know this as they listen to the Democrats and socialists on the other side of the aisle.
He knows he's innocent. He's not corruptly acting in order to see that justice is done. What he's doing is not obstructing justice. He is pursuing justice, and the fact that you ran it out 2 years means you perpetuated injustice.
When people associated with Trump lied, you threw the book at him. When Christopher Steele lied, nothing. And so it seems to be that when Glenn Simpson met with Russians, nothing. When the Trump campaign met with Russians, 3,500 words. And maybe the reason why there are this discrepancies and what you focused on is because the team was so biased.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
Pledged to stop Trump.
Having desperately tried and failed to make a legal case against the president, you made a political case instead. You put it in a paper sack, lit it on fire, dropped it on our porch, rang the doorbell, and ran.
The drafting and the publication of some of the information in this report without an indictment, without prosecution, frankly, flies in the face of American justice. And I find those facts, this entire process, un-American.
There is collusion in plain sight. Collusion between Russia and the Democratic Party.
I will say that the
yesterday.
Yeah, the stupidity of Devin Nunes, I still find to be stunning. Even after all these years, I am still. It's breathtaking, just how inept he is. John Heilemann, help me out here. First of all, just a little comment. I got a question, first of all, John, for you.
Yeah.
So these stupid, certain stupid Republicans will call capitalists, Democrats who are capitalist socialists, right? So playing by these rules, I will tell you, were I a member of the Democratic caucus and somebody called me a socialist and I was a capitalist, I think it's a fair question to ask if you can start calling them fascists. If, in fact, even if they're fascists or not. Like, if this is the world we're now going into, where socialist is thrown around recklessly, I'm just curious, first of all, why Democrats can't just start calling every Republican fascist if that's the game that Republicans want to play. Also, could you help me out just with some numbers here, John?
Sure. Yeah.
This is where... Go. This is the part of the show where you participate.
Yeah.
Instead of me just talking.
Just tee it up for me, brother. Let's go.
So that one guy, McClintock, I think the kids call him.
Okay. Yeah.
That McClintock fella said that what Robert Mueller, a highly decorated Marine, did was he got a bag of poo and lit it and put it on the front doorstep, and there was nothing to it. Now, please help me. Do you know off the top of your brilliant head, it really is like an IBM supercomputer, how many of the president's men were indicted? How many were arrested? Weren't there 299 indictments in all for Russians?
Counts.
And how many got to jail? Could you give us the numbers of this poo in a bag, setting on fire, ringing the doorbell, and run expedition that a Marine War hero did? Could you do that just for Americans that heard that stupidity and would like to know the real facts? Go, John Heilemann.
Well, if I had known you were going this direction, Joe, I would have consulted my documents. I will say, I believe that first of all, it's true that and Alex, of course, is going to ring in my ear and tell me whether I'm wrong about this, but it's certainly the case that north of a dozen of Trump associates and former campaign people, former administration people are, in fact, have been convicted and are cop pleas. Here we go. Here's the number: 6 ex-Trump advisors, 4 lobbyists, 1 lawyer, 1 digital marketing strategist, 1 transition advisor, 14 Russian nationals, 3 Russian companies, and 12 Russian military officers have all been indicted on. I think you're right, Joe. If you totaled up the number of total counts of the various indictments, you get well north of 100 of those, maybe as high as what you just said, and there have been 9 convictions there, according to this. So the notion that the notion that this effort is I believe you referred to it, quoting the congressman as a flaming bag of poo, seems like that's not quite, strictly speaking, accurate.
Yeah, which, by the way, Willie, that was the first name of the name of my first band, Flaming Bag of Poo. Now, that other fella, that was there out there, Willie, that other fella, he said that what Robert Mueller did by investigating things when he knew that the OLA guidelines prevented him from actually bringing charges against the president, flew in the face of American justice. He may have even said it was un-American. Now, I believe if you look at what Robert Mueller's charge was, it was specifically to investigate this and the president to see if other people were involved in any possible conspiracy, and to also, again, get the information to educate the American people and send his findings along to Congress.
Yeah, of course it was. And yesterday was an exercise in protecting the president for Republicans. That's what they were set out there to do. I couldn't help but think, if you took President Trump's name off, or you blacked out if it was a Democrat or Republican, and you just sat as a Republican and reviewed those 448 pages, how could you not be alarmed by what you saw there? How could you not be alarmed by the fact of Russia's ongoing attempts to interfere in our elections? Bob Mueller said again yesterday, they're doing it as we sit here today, and they will do it again in 2020, and not enough's being done about it. Take politics out of it. Take your defense of the president, your personal feelings about the president out of it, and just look at the evidence presented in front of you. Are you not concerned? Are you not alarmed by what Russia did and it continues to do? That's what's staggering to me. This is not a political question. This is a patriotic question. This is an American question.
This is not about hating Donald Trump. This is about loving America, as Elijah said yesterday. So, Mika, there's a very simple test that I applied during impeachment, because James Carville and everybody say, how can you do this? It's just my personal life, just a blah, blank, blank, da-da-da-da-da. I had a very simple test because I couldn't understand what the Raging Cajun was saying, and it was this.
Okay.
If you or I did that, if we lied under oath, if we committed perjury in a deposition, committed perjury in a grand jury, what would happen to us? Well, what would happen to us is we would be sent to jail.
Correct.
That's very simple.
Right.
I voted against 2 articles of impeachment. I've made a lot of people angry. I actually got a primary opponent because I voted no on 2 articles of impeachment.
Yeah.
But the 2 that would have sent anybody else to jail, certainly with the federal judges I practice in front of in Northwest Florida, that was a yes on impeachment. Yeah. And I stand by that vote today. And I think Democrats today may better understand that vote today, now that they look at Donald Trump. It's the same thing with Donald Trump. There's a reason why everybody around Donald Trump got sent to jail. Yeah. Because they weren't protected by Justice Department guideline. There's a reason why Robert Mueller said Donald Trump could be sent to jail if he loses the election.
A big reason.
A big reason.
A lot of reasons.
For obstruction of justice, right? So it's a very simple question for Democrats.
Sure.
Do you believe that no man is above the law? Or do you believe that because you're scared of Donald Trump, that you're going to allow Donald Trump to be the one man in America who is above the law? And the question is a simple question. If anybody else did the things that we learned yesterday that Donald Trump did, would they be in jail?
Yeah.
Talk to any federal prosecutor. That federal prosecutor would say he would at least be indicted and at least be tried.
Right. We also learned once again yesterday that Donald Trump tried to get Don McGahn to lie for him. And McGahn wouldn't. But how many others did? And some of those are in jail. This is basic math, people. This is basic black and white. I'm not sure where Republicans are standing on this and how they think it's going to end. We have a little advice for you. Not well. Let's bring in a reporter.
But Mika, this is not about Republicans now.
Well,
this is about Democrats having the will to at least open up an impeachment inquiry and at least see where the facts take them. So enough is enough. Either open it up or bury it for good.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.